I remember it was suggested that the city would like me to fix it. And when I heard that on the phone, I was like, oh gosh. My name is Glenn Schwaiger. I'm an artist. The artwork that we're going to talk about is titled Earth and Cosmos. It was completed in 2011, and it's located near the downtown mall in Las Cruces. And it's a mosaic walking pathway. Even from the beginnings of the construction of the mosaic, many people would stop or give a little nod of approval. They were curious about the process of it. I think the public participation actually added a richness to the artwork that was sort of a shared expression. During COVID, I got an email, and they indicated that a water main had broken underneath the plaza, underneath the mosaic. A section of the mosaic had to be taken out of its location. It was essentially cut into some pieces and then dragged out like a beached whale. Like how? Is that supposed to be fixed? For a period of time, I didn't even want to go out to see it. The mosaic with all the tiles on it sat with barricades around it for maybe a year and a half while I worked with the city to try to decide how, if anything, can the mosaic be restored. Would think, well, we'll just put a new slab down and we'll put some new tiles in. But the problem with that approach is that tile manufacturers go through different phases of runs. And by the time 10, 14 years had passed since we first did it, many of the tiles were no longer available. To have any hope of making a restoration that looks like it wasn't patched was almost just fruitless. As the person who made the artwork, the only sensible approach, if it was possible, was to return it to what it once was. So I determined that if I could, I would remove the tiles and clean them up and put them back exactly where they were. We decided we would take a portion of the mosaic, a section of about 10 square feet. So I photo documented it with a grid, and I made a rubbing with paper and a crayon, so I knew every tile and all its locations. Then each tile got a number and a letter, and that also went on to the drawings. And then we made the grand plan to transport the remaining slab, which was quite large, and bring it out to my studio. And that was about a year or so ago. And it was at that time that I really went at it diligently. I was able to cut all of the slabs all the tiles off of the slab, clean them up with a diamond wet saw, and clean all the edges. Following the removal of the tiles from the slab, I had that map with me, and while the tiles were clean, I was able to use that map to put each tile back in its exact position with all its neighboring tiles in order to create a reconstruction of the mosaic. And that's how it was done. And in hindsight, I think it was probably the only sensible approach. If a person was out there today, I would say that they would not know that any work had been done, which from my perspective as a person who's restoring it, that's a perfect restoration. I'm thankful that the city had the foresight to take this challenge and work with me to find a solution to keep the artwork alive. There's value in things that have longevity. There's value in the generations, there's value in history. And that continuity of earlier generations or earlier efforts that can be translated into the new generation and into the future gives us a connection to history and a sense of belonging to something greater than just in the moment. 14 years is very young for this mosaic. It's just a toddler, and it has a lot of years to go.